Hi, I'm Stephen Ha Ha Hunt, comedian, actor, writer, coach, producer, and promoter of the best live comedy. And it's my pleasure to introduce the comedians tonight, Levi and Clay Anderson. Born and raised in a small, tiny town in New Mexico called Milan, about 80 miles west of Albuquerque on I 40. Believe it or not, they were the only twins in town. Levi was the only deaf child. Clay was not. So imagine this experience of deaf and hearing twins, a great example of tragedy plus time equal comedy. It's my pleasure to introduce the comedians Clay and Levi Anderson.
If hearing people roll up to me and they're just giving me some shit, I just shake my head. This is all I do. It's easy. I don't even give a shit about what they said.
I grew up involved with theater. A lot of times I made people laugh while I was in school. My dad never really liked that because I was always a smartass and I was always making jokes. And a lot of times I just figured that we might as well have a good time while we're having a meeting. So that's kind of what got me into it.
So the rest of you here in this room, what you're called is, people who can hear are called hearing people, okay? That's the rest of you motherfuckers, okay? Just remember that, alright? You guys can go and order food, and it's easy for you. I have to go up there and be, hey, I'm deaf. Can I get a piece of paper and a pen, please? Environmentalists hate me. I cut down trees all day long. I waste paper all day long just to communicate with people. And I'm sorry, but I have to write down my order. I'm hungry, I'm starving, I'm a starving comedian. You guys know how that shit goes.
I think for me, as a deaf comedian, I would have to find interpreters often, and that was difficult, and a lot of times people couldn't do it. Not because they don't understand sign language, because they don't understand comedy. So that was always a big challenge for me. It was pretty frustrating. And when I would find somebody who could interpret comedic type stuff, if I was lucky enough to find somebody who would be willing to do that, I would do a great job, but it was difficult.
Now, one of the difficult things for me in my life was dating. I had a really hard time dating because a lot of times if I met a beautiful girl who was hearing, I'd have to get my brother to come along on the date and interpret for me. And it was difficult because I would ask the girl while we were at the movies, hey, do you want a drink? And she would say, yes, I'd like a Sprite. But my brother would say, you better get her a Diet Coke. So I'd go and get that Diet Coke and bring it back to her, and she would slap me. And I had no damn clue what was going on. You think I'm fat? You think I need Diet Coke? That's how that shit went. And I had no idea. She said, I didn't ask for a Diet Coke. Why you give me Diet Coke? Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. My brother said you want a Diet Coke. Right? So then I'd ask her on a second date, and my brother would say, no. He would interpret to me, no, she doesn't want to go out with you again. And the problem was, the next week he would be going out with her. That son of a bitch. Deaf people have accents, okay? I'll give you an example here tonight, okay? Sometimes I like to try to sound like an Indian. Not like Travis, like, I'm just getting over there. Not that kind of Indian. It's usually this kind of Indian. Not the one who goes, I want a red pop. Not that one, okay? Not that Indian. It's usually this one. The people who are taking over America, one 7-Eleven at a time. Those ones, okay? Yeah! I went out and did a show out in LA, California, and I went to a hotel that was really expensive. Well, all of the hotels were really expensive. I finally found a cheap one, but it was an Indian guy who was running it, and he lived there, and I asked him for a room, and this is what he said. I kind of just told him I wanted a room, and he said, That is okay, sir. This is what you will be getting. That's the accent for deaf people. We just shake our head. This is how I sound if I'm a deaf okay? Now, a lot of people from New Mexico here are chivatos. We're tough. So this is how we sound. Orale, what are you doing here tonight, baby? It's good to see you. Who wants a cerveza? Right? There's the Mexican accent for you. There we go. I do have some friends who are men who love men. And this is how they look. So, baby, how you doing tonight? Oh, you look good, baby. Look at your hair. Oh, my gosh, your teeth are so beautiful. You want to go to dinner? What's your name?
I've been written up twice at work, and a lot of times it's because my boss will come to me and say, you need to stop doing comedy things while you're at work. That's not appropriate to do at work. And what I've always said is that when I show up and people are sad, I want people to be happy. So I think that comedy is important. I think it's definitely the best medicine. My dad didn't understand it. My boss didn't understand it. My dad always wanted me to do to be a juggler or somebody who could play music. But I think comedy is what everybody needs.